A lot of mentality is there's a lot to do still. You know, it's the end of the season, but it's like there's so much to do.
Do you feel like you guys have a good handle on what needs to change? Because this is the last game of the season, win or lose, you're done.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys feel like do the players feel like they've got a good handle on what needs to be different?
I think a lot of that depends on each individual player. Some guys will be able to pinpoint, their weaknesses, the things that they need to change, and then others are still trying to figure that out. But I think everyone has that feeling of we all have a lot to do.
Is there a team dynamic that needs to change? I mean, like you said, there's individual things, of course, but do you feel like the team dynamic, obviously this year didn't work as well as you guys wanted. So.
Yeah, and I think our team is really close. Everyone loves each other, but a big part of it is making sure that translates into a product on the field. So I think there's definitely things that as a team we need to look over and be hard critics on ourselves.
Even with the season, win-loss in term being what it is there a benefit for you guys, not just because you want to win the game, but winning the last game before you go into the offseason? Does that help going into the offseason?
I think it definitely does. I think that's kind of a little springboard. If you can win this game, then that kind of sets us off on the right foot to get our minds right, because we'll be back at it the next week.
What's it like watching your dad? He's on the other side with the coaches, trying to get you guys, in positions. What's that been like watching him each year?
It's been interesting. It's always kind of a weird dynamic having that. Come home and I see my dad all day. I'm with my dad all day, but at the same time, there's that line where he's the coach, and especially now that he's not my coach, it's interesting to see how adversity affects both players and coaches.
Is he still just as hard on you, even though he's with the linebackers and you're on the D-line with Coach E and whatnot, or is that kind of eased off a little bit?
Definitely. He knows, at home where it's him and I, he knows when he can get after me, and I love it though. You got to have a hard critic on you.
Hawaii's a pretty good spot for a bowl game if there were a bowl game. Is there any kind of treating this game like a bowl game in terms of the extra practices, the extra effort, the extra going hard, that kind of thing? Is there kind of any focus to that?
I think there's definitely some focus on, especially just the last game of the year, and knowing that our seniors won't have another game to play. There's not a bowl game. But I know a lot of people want to believe, treat this like a bowl game, kind of go have fun, it's relaxed, but it's quite opposite. It's like, no, this is a legitimate thing, and this, like I said before, this is going to be a game that'll help us decide how we change through the off season.
Any other questions for Corbin?
A little off topic, but with Thanksgiving coming up, I know you guys will be on the road. What's the food that you most look forward to eating for Thanksgiving?
I'll eat anything. I'm kind of glad that we are on an island because I love seafood, but I'll eat whatever they give me.
Talking about the off season, how many of the problems this year do you think are correlated to maybe how you guys spent the off season? Did you learn stuff that maybe you need to do better in the off season?
I think there's definitely some things that we can tweak, but I wouldn't say our preparation for the year exactly set us up completely for the season that we've had. I think, coming into this year, we prepared really well, and a lot of guys were a lot stronger, guys were ready, but then as the season wore on, there's injuries and then just execution in general. And so there's definitely things we'll tweak for the off season, but we'll have the same mentality, because I thought last year we went really hard in the off season.